This is another in a string of similar deals like this. We had the GM Lyft deal not too long ago.
Yeah, you know, the auto industry is really being assaulted by all kinds of technological change. And maybe the least of those is this concept of ride sharing, but it's really taken off and it's changed the way the rental cars operate, the way the taxis operate. It's a big part of the global fleet, and it may change the way people choose to drive or choose when to own a car and when not to. So nobody wants to get left out. Toyota has a lot of money. It's very easy for them to make an investment, kind of get their toe in the water and see what's there to learn.
Yeah, so how big will this investment be? Do we know the size of the investment or what the partnership would look like?
You know, the companies didn't say, and they didn't play that up as being a high priority. Presumably, if it was pretty big, Toyota would have to disclose it as a material amount. We're working with our sources, but the indications are this is not a large investment. But it still doesn't mean it isn't important, because they get to sell cars to Uber, and as David mentioned in the intro, you know, we've got Volkswagen investing in Get, GM invested $500 million in Lyft. You know, there's a real kind of a land grab or a relationship grab going on in the industry. So Toyota aligning with Uber is certainly an interesting relationship to keep an eye on.
Do we have any sense now of why GM went with Lyft versus Uber? Why Uber seems a bit late to this party?
Well, Uber's had some other investors, and you know, I think Lyft needed the cash, and GM felt they could probably get a bigger bang for their buck. You know, with that $500 million, I think that got them 9%, which kind of makes them one of the leading shareholders, and maybe it would take more than that to get that kind of say in Uber, which kind of has a lot of power itself, and so maybe that just was a better fit for GM, I think.
Now, Uber has faced a lot of resistance worldwide. We're talking about European lawmakers. We're talking about places in Asia as well. So will Toyota be able to deal with this, or it just doesn't matter to them and it's just a one-time investment in Uber?
Well, certainly, you know, Uber has caused a lot of disruption in the taxi market. And you think about places like New York, where, you know, drivers or owners have to invest so much money in the right to operate a taxi. And then, you know, here's this very similar to a taxi-like company. They call it ride-sharing, but it acts a lot like a taxi, and it really undermines their business. So you get pushback, you know, in Paris and other cities where drivers feel really undermined. How much that you know, flows back to Toyota? Probably not that much, but you know, the closer they're affiliated with Uber, the more they risk, you know, having some of that collateral damage come at them.